Hello, my dear students. We have reached the middle of our first online course. Congratulations! There are 3 more weeks left before your spring session begins. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in person in Nizhny Novgorod State Linguistic University. For now, I would like to wrap up the results in Module 3. Module 3 was devoted to English vowel sounds, their IPA symbols, and the main points of characterization. Here you were supposed to read or watch about English vowel sounds and organize your new terms in your glossary and do the test English vowel sounds. I would like to draw your special attention to how to work along with the videos because most of you have chosen it as the best way to receive your information. I would recommend you not just passively watch videos, but take an active role by working along with them. You should take notes while watching and imitate the actions produced by the instructor. Never forget about your glossary. It is one of the most efficient ways to work with your new terms, and that will be very useful when you get ready for your final written test. In Module 3, the test on English vowel sounds consisted of 9 questions. The majority of you have received a high score. Let's discuss the most difficult questions. They were number 2, number 4, number 5, number 6, 8, and 9. Have a look at the questions, please. The first question was, into what groups are the English vowels divided according to the horizontal movement? Here we see 5 groups: front, front retracted, central, back advanced, and back. If we speak about close and high, that's the height of the raised part of the tongue. What vowels have the resonator in the back position in the mouth cavity? Again, we have front and front retracted. Because if we speak about back and back advanced, the resonator is vice versa in the front of the mouth cavity. And when we speak about the central vowels, then the resonator is in the middle, neither retracted nor advanced. Into what groups are the English vowels divided according to the vertical movement? According to the vertical movement or the height of the raised part of the tongue, the English vowels are subdivided into close, open, and mid-open. If we say narrow or broad, then we speak about the variation in the height, because each height has 2 variations, narrow and broad. How many variations are there in the height of the raised part of the tongue? So we've just discussed that. There are 2 variations, narrow and broad. How many rounded vowels are there in English? There are 6 rounded vowels in English. They are a, u, and the nuclei of o and I. So 6 rounded vowels. How are long vowels different from short ones? The difference is in their length. Of course, long vowels are longer than the short ones in English. What vowels require great attention? Long vowels require great attention, and short vowels are lax. And by the way, it's spelled L-A-X, right? Don't mix up the spelling. How many syllables does a diphthong give? Every diphthong gives only 1 syllable, and we discussed that last lecture. How many diphthongs are there in English? There are 8 diphthongs, and I hope you know them all. And the last question was, what are the English short vowels in the stress position according to the character of the end? That was the most difficult question, and we should say that short vowels in English in the stressed position are always checked. When we speak about long vowels, we need to speak about the consonant after it. following the vowel. So whether it's voiceless or voiced, but short vowels are different. We need to speak about stress, whether it's stressed or not. So if it is stressed, then it's checked. If it is unstressed, that is unchecked. That's very simple to remember. The next activity was called identifying the missing vowel sounds. So you got a very wonderful table of English vowels there. And the monophthongs and diphthong guides were given, but all the diphthongs were missing there. And I gave you the description, and you were supposed to fill in the table with the missing diphthongs. I didn't ask you to submit your completed tables, as the task was quite easy, I should say. But you can have a look at Valeria Paskamover's file of English vowel sounds characterization in the discussion forum. And there she has added the completed version of this table, so you can copy it and use it for just in the future. Thank you, Valeria, for your great work. Now let's fill in the table of English vowels with the missing monophthongs all together. I will demonstrate it on the screen, and you please follow me, and if you haven't done that before, please do it. If you have, then check it. The first diphthong is A. It's front, mid-open of narrow variation. So have a look. Front, mid-open of narrow variation. Right here. This is the right box for it. So A. Okay, great. So the next one is ear. Is front retracted, close or broad variation. We go here. Front retracted, close or broad variation. Right here. Ear. That's the red box. Okay, let's go to our presentation. So my symbols look so ugly, but I'm trying my hardest, believe me. Okay. Then the next one is air. It's front, mid-open of broad variation. So we go here, front, mid-open of broad variation. Right here, air. Okay, let's go to our presentation. Air. Have a look. That's the symbol. Air. And upside down. There. So then, the next one. Oh, central, mid-open of narrow variation. So central, mid-open of narrow variation right here. And that will be oh. Central, mid-open of narrow variation. Oh. Then ow. Front retracted, open of broad variation. Front retracted, open of broad variation here at the top. Both the sounds ow and I. Ow and I. Ow. and I. Right. Okay, and three more. No, two more ones. I is back, open of narrow variation. So we go here, back, open of narrow variation. That's right box. So I. And the last one is O. Is back advanced. Here, back advanced. Then close. Okay, close. And the broad variation. Here we go. This right box. Okay, here we go. That's the final version of our table of English vowels. Your next task in Module 3 was to characterize 5 English vowel sounds. Thank you, Valeria Paskamover, Nikolai Andreev, Anna Fedosova, Kate Nizorova, Ksenia Minkor, Helen Yurova, Ludmila Drosheva, Helen Yeremina for following all instructions and successfully completing this assignment. Here are the typical mistakes. First of all, checked and unchecked vowels. Please remember that the length of a vowel is very important. If it is short, you need to think about stress. So short vowels under stress are always checked, and unstressed vowels are unchecked. If it is long, you need to think of the following consonant. If it is voiceless, then the vowels are checked. If it is voiced, then the vowel is unchecked. Then it's very simple. Just remember the rule. Always specify the variation. That's the second point you need to remember while characterizing. So when you speak about the height of the raised part of the tongue, you need to specify the variation. There are two variations, narrow and broad. And everything is given just in the table. Just follow all the information there and specify everything that's given. Diphthongs. Diphthongs consist of two elements forming one syllable, and that's very important. They are complex sounds, and they're different from monophthongs. That's why we characterize them a bit different. When we start characterizing it, we start with the nucleus, because the nucleus is distinct. And we speak about the position of the bulk of the tongue, then the height of the raised part of the tongue, and then the position of the lips. Then you start characterizing the whole diphthong, and diphthongs are always longer than their tongues. And finally, you need to give the examples in what words they are checked and in what words they are unchecked. As diphthongs are always long, then you need to think about the next consonant, whether it's voiced or voiceless. Then the next point that was quite difficult while characterizing English vowel sounds was the Schwa sound. This central, mid, and rounded, very short vowel is of very uncertain quality. It is one of the most indistinct vowels in English, used only in unstressed positions. As it is always used in the unstressed position, then we can say logically it's unchecked. And we can hardly find an example with the Schwa sound being checked. That's why please just revisit your characterizations and think what you would improve, because you need to think about diphthongs with a check whether you have characterized them correctly and you have characterized the nucleus first and then the whole diphthong. Think about the Schwa sound, whether you have got the Schwa sound. It's always unchecked, and give some certain examples of it being unchecked. It's always unchecked, by the way. You don't need to think about that very deeply. And then checked and unchecked vowels. Once again, revisit the rule and read it very attentively and give examples actually according to the length of the vowel. And then always specify the variation. Please pay special attention whether your vowel has broad or narrow variation and whether you have specified that or not. Okay, your last assignment was to continue your individual pronunciation practice on English sounds and update your information on Google Docs. As far as I can see, there are a lot of changes there. Some of you are doing their pronunciation work according to the plan, and I can easily track their progress, but some students need to catch up. Please remember that time flies very fast, and I don't think that you would like to have or end up with a great pile of work to do at the last moment. Thank you, Nikolai Andreev, Helen Yurova, Anna Fedosova, Helen Yeremina, Marina Bandurina, Valeria Paskomova, Olga Maximova, Kate Nevzorova, Ksenia Minko, Alona Borisova for doing a great job on your individual pronunciation practice. I hope you are enjoying it as well. Irina Stachova, I have seen your name on the list. Please hurry up to add your words from your final oral presentation. Today I'm opening Module 4 for you. It is entitled English Consonant Sounds. Here you will learn about English consonant sounds. They are, again, symbols, our main points of characterization, and continue with your individual pronunciation practice on English sounds. By the end of the coming week, you need to finish the following. First of all, you need to read or watch about English consonant sounds and organize all the new words in your glossary as usual. And then do the test, English consonant sounds. Please be very attentive. Work along with the video, take notes, and imitate everything that your instructor is doing. It really works, believe my experience. Then characterize English consonant sounds and share your results with your peers in the discussion forum. Again, you will get 5 consonants to characterize according to all the instructions and the examples given in the discussion forum. Besides, you will get a list with the names and the signed sounds. So everybody will get, each of you will get 5 sounds to characterize. You will find a table of English consonants and vowels, a combined table, in the part called Useful Resources for English Phonetics course. I will open it for you. And this table will help you a lot in your characterization because everything is given there. And by the way, I mentioned it in my lecture, in my video lecture. That's why it's very user-friendly and you will understand it very fast how to use it. Okay, and last task for you to do is to continue your individual pronunciation practice on English sounds and update your information in Google Docs. As usual, this unit is open only for 1 week. Your deadline is next Sunday evening. Do not postpone everything till the last moment because you will end up with a pile of information to consume and tasks to do. Please remember that your systematic work is your ladder to success. Thank you for your attention and your time and enjoy Module 4.